As much as I love modern 3D computer animated movies, it's always a pleasure to see a traditional 2D hand-drawn movie, and In This Corner of the World is much more than only that.
ありがとう。この世界の片隅にうちを見つけてくれて。
In This Corner of the World is an anime that was just released in Japan last November, and I hope it will get more international releases soon. I was lucky because I didn't just see it at this year's Tricky Women Festival here in Vienna, but also in attendance of Fumio Kono, on whose manga the movie is based on. The original title is Kono Sekai no Katasumi ni, and it tells the story of a young woman and her daily struggles. It is set in Hiroshima and Kure during World War II, and it follows the character of Zuzu over the course of many years. From her childhood to the time she's 18 years old. Zuzu loves to draw, and she's kind of dreamy and naive. As the movie is a little bit dreamy and maybe naive as well. It is set during World War II, but this is only a backdrop for the story and the characters. The reasons for the war, politics and ideology are left out, and it's okay for this movie because it still works very well as a character piece through the eyes of a young, charming woman, but I also think it needs to be addressed. Japan hasn't always had the best approach to deal with their dark history, and especially for a Chinese or Korean audience, the movie might come across a little bit as self-victimization. The main focus lies in the hardship and suffering of the civilian population and the way Zuzu and her new family is dealing with it. I say new family because she's being married to a guy she barely knows, but her new husband, named Shusaku, turns out to be a quiet and kind man, and they make for a good couple. I liked how their relationship is shown as very innocent and cute, and at the same time mature as well. The movie is definitely addressing an older audience. This isn't a kids movie. Not that there aren't moments with laughter and silliness, but it might be too boring and serious for children. But I really liked it a lot. It has a very humanistic nature, and Zuzu is a strong lead in her own unique way. Despite being set in war times, despite many sad and downright horrible moments, it has a positive feeling, and it's also quite nostalgic. Again, this nostalgia might be a little bit problematic regarding Japan's role in the war, but Zuzu is completely unpolitical and doesn't question the war until the very end. But then again, she was very young when it started and didn't know anything else. The way she's dealing with the shortcomings of the situation is quite heartwarming. She comes into this new family at a very young age, but she's giving everything she can to make life better for everybody. And yet the movie doesn't come across as being preachy or shallow or anything like that. The interactions between the characters are handled very sensitive, and each person has something going on for them. There's, for example, her husband's older sister, the sharp-tongued Keiko. She's being introduced as almost evil, but you learn to understand her situation quickly, and she isn't just a stereotype, but a real person, with hard losses and ambitions. There's also a wonderful relationship building between her young daughter Harumi and Zuzu. The topics in the movie are tackled with care, and I was really falling for it more and more, and at the end I had a hard time not to cry. And it doesn't feel manipulative or heavy-handed at all. It's just so human and emotional. And it's also beautifully animated. Before the screening began, it was told that nearly 70% of the movie were hand-drawn, and it looks very warm and inviting. I hope the day where there aren't any new hand-drawn movies is never coming. The act of drawing is incorporated in the movie itself, as Zuzu loves to draw, and there are a few scenes where the movie gets quite surreal to highlight certain actions and emotions. Overall, In This Corner of the World was such a delight. It's a little bit long, and the way it handles Japan's involvement in the war might bother you, but it's also so heartfelt and just beautiful to watch. In German I'd say, ein zutiefst menschlicher, warmer und auch trauriger Anime. I give In This Corner of the World 8 out of 10. It's more like 7.8, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below, let me know what you think about in this corner of the world. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And don't forget to hit the clock so we can rock.